All right, we had one good day at the food bank. Just one good day at the food bank. And that day was Friday. 'Cause I didn't get a chance to do none of the food banks on Monday, Tuesday, and I think Wednesday coming up. I missed out on all these food banks because of the cold weather. I ain't feel like getting out there and catching no cold. It ain't worth it if you're going to catch a cold. So I said the weather got me in. It locked me down in the house, and I ain't trying to get out and about with these food banks. So, but this Friday, I did get a chance to go to the one in my neighborhood, and that's why I said thank God for Friday. And that Friday food bank, they had a whole lot of meat. They get their food from Forgotten Harvest. So they had a big run on meat. Lady said they had a pallet of meat almost, which is one of them Gaylord boxes on a pallet. They can fill it up with meat. And she said she had enough to go around with 5 in each box. Then she had one on the table. So that's 6 pieces of meat you could have got. Then she had greens too for the produce. I mean, not the produce. Yeah, produce. The protein was the meat. The produce was the greens. She didn't have enough to go around to all that. But what happened was with the greens, it was just enough to go around with the first 10 boxes or so, about 10, 11 boxes. And there was 2 greens per bag. So she was able to, she let the older senior citizens go first. Now, I'm a senior citizen, but I'm not one of the older senior citizens yet. That's a blessing if you live to be that old, past 70. Getting past 60 and 70 is something that you have to not knock on wood for. This becomes your dying decade. Between 60s and 70s, that's when people say, I noticed that when I was growing up, a lot of people get in their 60s, and that'll be the decade they pass away. Everybody don't make it to their 70s, that's for sure. And definitely between your 80s and 90s, you definitely in rare air, as they say. Very rare air, because it just could be a failure. And, you're just among a few people, man, that's for sure. So the older senior citizens, they went first. And then, they always somebody that's getting a box for a friend. But she had like 6 boxes left over after she did all that for the people that did show up. And giving the box away for a friend. And then putting some boxes aside for some church members. And that's where somebody in the neighborhood. So she put about 4 boxes aside. All the volunteers was there. She loaded the boxes up when we get there. And when they get there at 8 o'clock. So they start packing the boxes. So if you're the early bird, you ain't going to always get to work because you should be sitting there for up to sometimes 2 hours, between 8 and 10. So I get there around 9:30 at the latest. And some people get there as late as 10 and they still get a chance to get a box. So the guy last week that got the turkey before right after the holiday. Oh, no, it was before the holiday. Before Thanksgiving holiday. He came there this weekend, a couple people at my table I was sitting at. He said, that's the turkey. We can nickname him the turkey guy. The guy didn't want to give us that turkey. But this week he surprised everybody. And he surprised me because he was with the first group to get the greens. And he's a super citizen age. His sister's younger than he is. He's a big brother. I can tell he's a little older than she is. That's the sister that told me he really didn't need that turkey. But he insists on getting it. So he was generous enough to give away his greens. So I guess the sister must have had a talk with him about that greens. And that really surprised me, the fact that he gave away the greens. The lady said that she wanted them greens, and it was turnip greens, I do believe. It was not mustard. I would have liked to have some mustard greens. But they're turnip greens or the collard greens, the ones that take us a long time to break down, I'm going to pass on them. They take a long time to break down. So I was really surprised to see that he showed some generosity instead of greed. So, that's how you're supposed to do it. If you don't want it, you ain't got to always just take it home. Somebody that there wants it, pass it on to somebody that's there. And, so he did the right thing this way. So he made a comeback in my book. I might have to give him a hand for that, a round of applause for that, because he did good. I'm going to give him a hand for that. That's for sure. I underestimated him, but he came through on that part. So never underestimate what a person might think. Maybe his conscience was bothering him, or maybe his sister was bothering him about doing it. But anyway, he did the right thing that week. So the lady I normally be sitting with, she got the greens that the volunteer did at runs the food bank. She gave up her greens to her, and then he gave up his greens to her. So she didn't come back and get a second box, so she got a second box for her girlfriend. And I didn't get a second box because I already had 5 pieces of meat, and it was all beef, so I was looking good. And with the extra piece on the table, I had 6 pieces, so I ain't had no need for greens. But of course, when one person get a little something extra, the next person want to get something extra. So I had a couple people in there getting a couple of boxes. And people that be at that Thursday food bank, that I call them the vultures, they came back in and they were standing around waiting for that second box. So this week I'm going to try to trick them a little bit, even though I don't need it. But I might ask for that second box just to see what happens. Just if it's a mess in the game. Just see can I get it, because I'm always last. I always say I'll be last. I'll be the last one out the door, the last one to choose a box. So I don't want to be first or in the middle. She tried to do it with the age group. But if I say women in there, don't let them go first. Because like I said, I'm rolling solo. I ain't got to worry about trying to get this out, because my family would not take it because it's too old for them. So I ain't got to worry about giving it out to them. And I ain't got to worry about, I ain't trying to take too much more home. My goal is to stop hoarding these canned goods. I got to get rid of all these canned goods I got for the last 4 or 5 years. They done stocked up. I have not rotated them out. So it's time. Because I got like 2 rooms. I can fill up a back room full of canned goods. Have my own food pantry. But it's time to get rid of this stuff. I sat there and looked at it. I said, everything will get rotated out. Later the date, that's when I'm going to open them up, throw them in the compost. And I got a trash, put them in the recyclable trash bin. And that's my goal for December 2019. That's this month. So next time I talk, hopefully the weather breaks pretty good. I get all these community events behind me. I'm going to spend one day just doing that. Taking care of all these canned goods, 'cause that's why I got a bunch of canned goods. Rotate them all out of the food pantry, and then be ready to restart next year. Everything must go. If I can't give them away, I got to throw them away. And that's going to have to be my philosophy. If I can't give them away, I'm going to have to throw them away, that's for sure. So that's what I had to say this week. This week been off. I got to get my other bike up and running. This battery is holding on. The square battery I bought. And I bought from Hong Kong over a year ago now. I'm on my 2nd year with it. I'm really surprised it's holding on. I've not got the gasoline bike up. I can forget it now. I ain't got cold. We got it. I would do gasoline repair on the 1-cylinder or 2-cylinder. 1-cylinder. It's a 1-cylinder motor. He got bad arthritis, and I know he ain't coming out no cold. Just the timing was wrong, because I had a chance to make me some money. So I do some work with the car, and I did that. So I had to take care of her, so she's one of my customers. I am still doing some home repairs. So I look out for her, because she was supposed to went big this year. She put it off to next year. So God bless me to be here next year and healthy enough to do it. I'll make that extra money. And hopefully I can buy the bike I want finally with the extra money I make for her. I can get my fat bike. I did get a bike with disc brakes on it for $60 this year. I'm thinking about putting me one on the bottom bracket. I still want to buy that kit, but now I got to work on my car. And we had the bad car thieves. The car thieves, they came and took my car, so they got me now working on my second vehicle instead of the first vehicle. So that's the sad part. But the good part is that I got a second vehicle to work on. I haven't cranked it up in 5 years, so I bought a battery and a starter for it. So hopefully I get that going. Then I'll be back on the road, just in case I got to still got to put insurance on it. To put a plate on it, so I got to play that game. So I go backwards, go forward with these thieves out here. And as Mom said, the thieves are no good, and that's for sure. They will set you back in life. That's what a thief is. No good for society, but it's human nature for people to steal. Simple as that. People love to steal. I don't know why that is, but people just love to steal. They'll steal in a minute. But anyway, that's what we had this week. Looking forward to going this Thursday, to that Thursday food bank. I missed it last year because I waited till after 12 o'clock to go on that third Wednesday. third Thursday of the month, and it turned out to be a bad decision on my part because I had to. They closed down at 12 instead of 4. They closed down at 12, and I'm there at 1 o'clock, and they closed. So I missed out on that, but I won't miss out this week. So I got that to go to. I might go to one Wednesday tomorrow. I might go to that one if the weather's good. I missed out on the Monday and Tuesday already. Cold weather. I ain't trying to make it. I woke up this morning, snow outside. So I ain't trying to do that. But it'll be real cold tomorrow. Then next week it's going to be warm. So it all depends on the weather now. I'm a fair weather person because it ain't worth catching a cold for. I just have to pass on it. You ain't buy all that anyway. I'm ahead of the game enough I can buy it from the supermarket. So that's where we at now this week, the second week in December. It's about to ready to wrap up this year. I know I got to deal with them turkey people if I do go to an event, but I probably won't go. I'm going to be all right. I got my coupon from Salvation Army this week. So I got my coupon. Hopefully this coupon will be for, not for Kroger, but for Spartan stores. If it's for a Spartan store, it benefits me. If it's for a Kroger store, then I'm going to give it away as a gift. I'm going to re-gift it, as it's called. I'm passing it off as a gift for Christmas. Probably to my nephew, because him and his wife, they patronize that store. And they'll benefit from that. So anyway, that's what's going on. Keep you updated on the bites. I know I got to start working on these bites again. So while I'm in between these food banks, I'm going to try to get that bite together with that chain-driven one. Still don't have the real rim I need for the second chain-driven one. I bought all this last year in December. And here it is December again. I got one bite that I can put one on. But I still haven't put that one part on that drives that chain. So that's what's holding me up. So anyway, I got a secondary battery for it. I got that. So I don't have to do that. I still have to buy a rack for it. So I might start working on that one. Definitely got the chain now for the 10-speed. So I'm looking to put that chain on this week with the 10-speed. It's supposed to be about 50 degrees out this Friday, so I might get a chance to ride it this weekend. I need to ride it this year. I did everything but put that chain on. I should let that chain stop. I bought me a brand new chain that's for a 10-speed. So now it comes with a master link. So just about shorten that chain up and putting it on. So hopefully I might not have to shorten it up, but I'll probably do. And if I do, then I'm good to go. I bought the part that snaps the chains, the quick that changes the master link on. I bought the tool for the master link. And I haven't used that yet, so I need to find that because it ain't got lost upstairs here. I didn't put it in no designated area. I should have kept it right down there where the bike at. I thought I did, but I didn't. But anyway, I'm looking forward to getting the 10-speed together, getting the chain one driven that I bought last year for the rear rim. And then this other one is chain driven, but it's for the bottom bracket. So I like it because the price is right, and you can use a more volt battery on it. So I might go with a 24 volt. I said I was going to go with a 24 volt instead of just being hung up on these 36 volts. But I might just go with 36 since I got two of them already. And the next one I get is going to be for the chain-driven one. I might get the 24 volt for that one. So we'll see how it works out. But I got to get one with a 24 volt, so I don't have to worry about buying the higher-end battery at the 36 volt battery. It's a higher-end battery. So, I did some mistakes this year, but hopefully it works out for me with eBay. I lost some more money on eBay messing around with them batteries. But, that's on me because I didn't do the follow-up. So I got to be a little bit more better about following up when the money ain't there, especially when it's a high price in. But we'll see. I think it's too late now. It's past 6 months. But we will see. I'm going to still check that out this week. Check and see if it did go back on my bank account. Both have, but I haven't checked it. But I will be checking this week, see can I find that out. So anyway, that's what's happening. That's the good news and the bad news. The bad news, the weather is too cold. I'm down to 1. I know for sure, and that thank God for Friday. But I'm definitely going this Wednesday and do that one. This Thursday and do that once a month. Then I'm going to see about this other place that's supposed to pick you up and take you to the food bank. So I might take advantage of that. And then we'll just see what happens because Monday then switch over to 11 o'clock. That throws a monkey wrench in the game. And all the rest of the events is outside. Thursday's outside. The one I go to in the morning at 11 o'clock, that's outside. Now the other one I used to go to at 12 o'clock when they start back up and They start back up in January. They're going to be outside. So this goes on. We'll see if they change their mind, because sometimes they change their mind. They say one thing and do another. So hopefully they change their mind and don't go outside until the summertime. And they'll be back on for Thursday. Every Thursday instead of once a month Thursday. But we did good last week, Friday, so, thank God for Friday. Food bank is right on time, that's for sure. So now it's time for us to wrap things up. This bell has rung, so it's time for us to go. And it's time for me to say adios amigos.